Today we're making a timber frame bench press. I've been dreaming of a home gym that's a little more zen-like and doesn't use a lot of steel, foam, or vinyl. Because as I've gotten older, my workouts are less about optimal performance and it's more just about peace of mind and maintaining the body. So yeah, a lot of this project was form over function maybe, but I was pleasantly surprised to see how easy this came together and how affordable it was. So this is a 6x12 Douglas fir beam 10 feet long. Typically they're used as primary structural elements for construction, but they aren't that expensive in terms of solid wood, and I got this one for about $140. This beam is 5.5 inches thick, which means my circular saw won't go through with one cut. I have to mark the length, make a cut from each side, and then do a little bit of a finish cut with my reciprocating saw. I cut it 6 feet long because I like the way that looks, but you definitely could go shorter if you're space constrained. Since this is for me, I decided to take the measurements from scratch. I was surprised to learn that my elbows don't go as far down as I thought they would, and a single 2x10 placed underneath gave me enough height, at least for a barbell. With dumbbells, you might want to go another inch or two higher. I held a Sharpie in my hand so I could mark on the ruler how high I wanted the uprights to be. For the uprights that hold the bar, I'm using 4x12s, so these are just 3.5 inches thick, and I traced a rather chunky design to catch the bar based on the measurements that I just took. I cut mostly through with my circular saw and then finished up with the reciprocating saw. For cutting out the notches, I'm going to start with the circular saw. The circular saw is great because it's easy for me to cut straight with it, but because it has a round blade, I won't be able to go the full length. I want some consistency on these cutouts, so I made some jigs with scrap plywood, and this is just so I can guide my palm router, and I won't be able to route all the way through, but I can go over an inch deep, and that'll give me some pretty clean, consistent lines on each side. Clamped everything down and had to hold the palm router pretty tight because I was hogging out quite a bit at a time. I really like these little palm routers. I've started using them a lot more over the last couple of years, and they don't take up a lot of room in the shop, and there's just so many great uses for them. And all I'm really trying to do with the palm router is just reduce the thickness of the material because I cut mostly through with the circular saw, and this just gives me a little more visibility so that when I freehand the rest of the cut with the reciprocating saw, I just have a little bit more control and a little less wood to go through. These long reciprocating saw blades tend to bend and flex on you, so my cut wasn't perfectly straight through, but this is why I have the template, because I can kind of then apply that template to each side and then use the palm router to at least get a more dimensionally consistent profile. These 4x12 beams were left over from a construction project, and they'd been sitting outside, so you see they have some dirt and stains on them. I think there was steel sitting on them, and that's what created that kind of blackened effect. Routing with the template on both sides got me pretty close. And I just had this little spot in the middle that I could use my little mini belt sander to smooth out. Douglas fir is a pretty splintery wood, and these beam pieces were beaten up. So I got my angle grinder with the carving blade and I just obliterated the splintery patches. This gives me a little bit more of an organic, irregular appearance, which I like. And now I can finish up with the orbital sander. And it's definitely too early to do finish sanding, but sometimes when I'm working with rough wood, I like to just do a light once over sanding. It just gets the splinters down and makes the pieces much more workable and, or at least fun to work with. I don't really have a plan in mind, but I know I want each of the uprights to be freestanding. So I just took some additional chunks of scrap fir and started cutting notches in them so I could kind of work them together and see where I would need reinforcement. Cutting notches is pretty easy with a circular saw. You just make 2 careful cuts in the outside and then a whole bunch of faster cuts in between, then chip out all these little slivers. I did this both in the support pieces as well as in the bottom of the uprights. The weakest part functionally is going to be when the bar slams down into this end grain. I don't think it'll be an issue, but just to be on the safe side, I decided to recess in some steel mending plates. So I put together a quick jig so I could route out a little slot, and hopefully that'll keep me safe as I throw up, massive amounts of weight. Now I probably could have just used some epoxy and leather to seal up the end grain directly, but I have plenty of scrap chips of fir lying around, so I felt like this was just a little more visually consistent. And now that I think about it, I probably didn't need to use steel at all. Simply inserting and gluing in a piece of wood with the grain going the opposite direction just partially through would probably create enough sort of a binding connection to protect it, with the cross laminations of the grain going in 2 different directions. But the steel's already in there, and now to just sand this down, I sort of take it to using the angle grinder to remove the bulk of the wood, and that just, saves me a lot of time from having to cut things perfectly or do a whole lot of sanding. Short pieces of beams don't have much use for construction, but I figured I could use them to kind of bulk up the connection between the upright portion and the longer horizontal portion that's going to hold the extra weight plates. And I don't want to trust just glued up connections. So I drilled some 1-inch holes, and that'll allow me to recess in some really big lag bolts and then wood dowel over the top to keep that kind of wood consistency. I don't do it that often, but using wood pegs into holes is really satisfying. It's nice to kind of hammer them in, make some nice noises. Flesh cut saws are great. I got these new ones from Temple Tools, so shout out to those guys. Love the product. And then in the end, you get to sand everything nice and flush. And I don't know, it's just simple, has like a good kind of haptic sound and feel to it. And, you get to pretend to be Amish for a little bit. The uprights are going to be in 2 separate pieces, and they're pretty stable on their own. And the reason why I wanted this bench press in 3 pieces is, well, it just makes it easier to move around. So I applied some glue on the ends and did a quick test fit for adding in some clamps and driving in a couple of lag screws. Now, this isn't the first weight bench or bench press that I've made. I did a very simple basic DIY version out of 2x4s about 4 or 5 years ago. For this one, I used Kaizen foam to make a padded bench, but maybe it's just from my Japanese side. I'm perfectly fine with a hard surface for these kind of activities. So check out that video if you're looking for a more DIY friendly approach. It's a pretty easy project. On the long support for the uprights, I'm drilling a hole so I can put in a big dowel. Now this is going to do a few things. One, it's going to allow me to store weight plates there, and that additional weight will give me a little more stability. The amount of weight that I lift, it's not really a big issue. I'm not worried about, the bar banging back and pushing the uprights, sliding them across the floor. I don't think that would happen, but with a few extra plates on there, I can be sure that it won't. For finish, I've been really liking Rubio Monocoat. It's expensive, but it's so easy to apply. It's low VOC, it looks great, and yeah, I just feel like, for something that I want to be part of a weekly practice, like use the good stuff. I've had these weight plates for about 5 or 6 years, and they've been outside most of the time, so they're pretty banged up and kind of dirty looking. I want to get them powder coated. One, I just like powder coating, and I got a really great powder coating guy out here. And when I talked to him, he said, well, the prep work's going to be a lot, so if you could burn off most of that existing really thick enamel paint and then give it a quick brush, I'll give you a good deal on it. I put the plates on a steel square tube, which totally got bent and deformed in the fire, but it did make it easy to brush off the remaining little fragments of burnt paint, and then I just had to weld up some jigs so that the powder coater could access all surfaces of the weights. We picked a nice off-white color, and they came out great. This is my favorite project so far this year. I love the way it looks. It totally has that Zen health spa kind of aesthetic that I was going for, but the thick beams give it a little bit of a sense of brutalism that fits in with the other stuff in my house. This is going to be on a shaded patio right outside of my bedroom because I like to start my mornings with a workout, well, at least like 3 times a week. And I have found that it's hard to stay on a fitness regime that you should be on, but putting a little more intentionality into the design and making it feel more custom has been one of the things that has helped me stay consistent. I've thought about making a leather pad for the bench, but so far I don't really find like I need it. I carved down the wood on the bench to match my shoulder blades, and it just feels very stable and smooth. Now that's easy for me to say because my lifts here don't ever go above 185, so for serious strength athletes it's probably different. Check out some of our other videos that are fitness related. We've done quite a few projects over the years, and I've put them all onto a playlist. Thanks for watching this video, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Thanks. Bye.